Podcast City Network.
Listener discretion is advised.
You're listening to The Everett Lee Show. A shot of entertainment to the head. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the entertainment.
What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Everett Lee Show podcast. I am Everett Lee. Quick shout out to all of my followers on Twitter. You can follow me at the Everett _Lee, Facebook.com/the Everett Lee. Click that thumbs up, and of course, PodcastCity.net, the official host of the Everett Lee Show. Well, 2 in a row, man. Who would have thought I would have hit 2 Everett Lee Show podcasts this week? And this is a good special podcast tonight because I have 2 great guests on, and my co-host from ELS Uncut, which you catch on Friday nights. Joining me on the program tonight is none other than David C. Russell of Deathmatch Russell Podcast. How you doing, David?
I'm doing pretty good, Everett. How you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm great, man. I'm just hanging in there, man. Just one hell of a week.
I know it's been busy. Let's get to our guests tonight and see how they're doing tonight.
Exactly.
Let's get to the show.
Yeah, we'll do it. We will do it, David. We will fire it up. You're ready. I'm ready. So let's do this.
Let's drop some elbows tonight. How about that?
Sounds great, brother. Tonight, joining us on the program is EHF Tag Team, Wrestling Tag Team, Big Facts. Please welcome to the program, Jason, Page, and Eli Shelton. How you guys doing tonight?
Not too bad. How are you?
Doing pretty good.
Pretty good.
Hey guys, how you doing tonight as well?
Oh, not too shabby. Thanks for having us, guys.
Great night. Happy to be here, man.
Awesome. I'd say you guys are having a really good night because we caught that video that Damien Saint, your manager, put up on his Facebook page. You there promoting your upcoming event, which we'll get to here in a little while. I just wanted to say that was great. I loved it. Me and David enjoyed that.
We appreciate that.
We try to make sure everything we do is outside the box and something totally different from the norm. So figured we'd go with something like that.
Yeah, of course, man. I mean, you have to. You put content out there, and you have to go outside the box sometimes to get people to notice, which is fucking awesome. Now, wanted to start off with some questions here with you guys. Any one of you guys can nab this one here. Where did you guys grow up at?
Well, we actually, I used to be best friends with Eli or Mark, whichever he'd prefer to go by. I grew up with his brother, and we lived, the back of my house was pretty much to the back of his house. So we grew up in Lambertville, Michigan, which is about 5 minutes from Toledo. And his brother, he's a big supporter of us. If you're listening, he got really weird into Ghostbusters. Still love him, though. And Eli ended up staying into wrestling. I ended up showing them, WWE and TNA and all these different variety of wrestling. And Eli stuck in it with me, and we've pretty much grown up with each other.
Turned this into turned what we love watching into a passion we love doing, and that was a goal that we always wanted. And when adulthood hit, you kind of think like, oh man, it's life. But then we thought, let's go out and let's try to make wrestling our life. So that's what we're doing right now. And right now, with how young we are and I'd say how hungry we are, I'm loving it.
Awesome. I could definitely tell by the footage that I watched with Jason that I caught on YouTube, and I could tell, and just you guys love it and you're passionate about it.
Right.
and you're proud of what you do, and that's what we like. And young talent, we see that all the time. Here I'm on the East Coast at the Jersey Shore, so I see a lot of local indie promotions around the area and elsewhere too. And you know what? Just keep on doing what you're doing, guys, and be seen.
For sure. Yeah, it's different because in normal, like say normal society, everybody wants to fit in and be like a regular, have a, go to college, get a degree, and have a normal job. And not everybody can go out and attack a dream and turn a dream into a reality, really. So that's just kind of what we're doing. We're trying to take a different route in life and simply make a dream a reality.
Exactly.
All right, guys. At what age did you get into wrestling?
You can go first, youngin.
I would when I first started, I was years old, just a little lad. Jason ended up coming over to our house, and he's like, "Hey, I gotta show you guys something really cool." And it was Friday Night SmackDown. I remember it very well. I remember it was in the middle of the Mr. Kennedy Undertaker feud. They were going at it.
Oh yeah.
Just before Mania 23.
Oh yeah, I remember Mania 23.
Yeah, the first time Eli ended up seeing Kane, I think he about shit his pants.
But for some reason, I saw The Undertaker and thought he was the coolest thing on earth. But Kane scared me to death.
Yeah. Was that, I'm trying to remember now, was that when he didn't have the mask, right?
No, this was well after. This was, I think wasn't he feuding with MVP at this time?
Yeah, this was the bald Kane, no mask.
Oh yeah. The See No Evil Kane. I remember that, man.
Yes,
yeah.
See No Evil Kane. That was it was right around that time.
Yeah, but Eli, you wrestled like actual like wrestle like amateur.
Yeah, I ended up doing a little bit of that when I was like 6 and didn't quite understand that that wrestling was different from pro wrestling in my first ever wrestling meet, and ended up clocking a kid and instant disqualification. And I was like, "What'd I do wrong? I see that all the time on TV." And my wrestling coach goes, "No, this is not that type of wrestling." I was like, "What is this?"
Oops.
Whoops. Yep. I'm sure you're like other people who grew up doing wrestling in school, seeing what was going on in WWE on TV, and you're like, you know what? If they could, you figured you put 2 and 2 together, you were going to do it, and you're going to try something, and the end result was not what you expected.
No, it reminds me of like the one episode of South Park when they ended up doing that.
Good old South Park.
Oh yeah. I remember that episode. That was fantastic. Right?
Oh, I love that episode.
Yeah, I never did amateur wrestling myself, but if I did, I imagine I'd try to get somebody up for a tombstone or some shit, so I stayed away. But professionally, Eli got into it at 18, right? 18, 17.
17.
Yeah, 17. I got into it when I was 20.
Yeah. I did check out some of the on your profile there on Facebook there, Eli, with your wrestling, and that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. Starting out and wrestling through you wrestled through high school, right?
No,
just middle school.
I ended up transferring schools, and they didn't have it in high school. I did it when I was like really little, but then once I got towards high school, I started playing more football, and that was fun because you get to hit people. It was an excuse to go out and whap somebody, and that was always fun to me.
Oh yeah, of course.
Doing the old Do the old refrigerator Perry.
Yep. Yeah. Now, training in Ohio, up there at Northwest Ohio Wrestling, or actually, what was it like training with? If correct me if I'm wrong saying this name here, Fameis Ames or Famous. What was it like training?
Fameis Ames, yeah.
Yes.
He was a guy that we met through our buddy Hayden, because our friend Hayden lived in Coloma, Michigan, which was the same town Ames grew up in.
Uh-huh.
And we met through there, and we had found out that he was a professional wrestler. We're like, hey, we're interested in getting started. So he said, hey, come on down. I'm doing a seminar at EHF in South Bend.
Uh-huh.
And we ended up doing the seminar, and after that, Ames pulled us aside and was like, hey, I want to start training you guys. And, of course, you know, the way most things in life goes, it's like, what's the price? And he straight up goes, nope, no fee. I'll train you guys for free. I love the potential that you guys have. Just follow me everywhere I go, and I will train you guys before every show. We'll do this, we'll do that. You'll end up learning along the way. And that's really how we got started. And it really gave us a good base to start off.
Right.
And I can't thank Ames enough for it. He gave us our start in this business, and for that I am forever grateful.
Nice. So what was it? Did he put you through the ringer? Did he really like the stuff you had to learn in the ring, the basics and stuff, the bumps and stuff? How was it like taking your first bump in a wrestling ring? I gotta know.
Tailbone.
Sore for a couple
Let's
days.
just say it's not what you would think. You're just like, oh yeah, they got padding, you
Right.
know, because everyone's like, oh, it's fake, this and that, and then you take that bump and you're like, I want to see everyone who calls this fake do this right now.
Now, Eli, with your football, okay, I've heard stories where football players is like, oh yeah, I could do wrestling, I could do that, and as soon as they get in the ring, they take their first bump, they're like, no.
Well, you're not going into the ring with full football pads and just because I'm sure if I bumped in football pads, I wouldn't feel a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is totally different. Like yeah, football has that crazy physicality, but with pro wrestling, it just takes this. A, you got to have the persona. B, you got to have the. You got to be in shape, because if
Right.
you're totally out of shape, you're gonna get blown up from the lockup.
Yeah.
And that it's two separate things, but two similar things, because they're both very physical and they both take a lot out of you, and you have to be you have to have a lot of lung capacity,
Right.
because you play 4 quarters in a football game and say wrestle a 15-minute match all continuously. It takes a lot on you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'd say definitely like with the
Flip into football. By the way, let's. What teams do you guys like?
We talking college or NFL?
NFL, college, both.
All right. Well, Eli's NFL team is very sad, and my college team is really good, and then gets really sad at the very last game of the year.
Oh.
Yeah, my college team is the Michigan Wolverines. Until that last game against the Buckeyes, everything's okay. But that last game of the year really, really ruins me. But my NFL team, we go Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'm a Detroit Lions fan.
Uh-huh.
It is one of the toughest things I've ever done, and it's left me with this, and it's that, ladies, if you want to find yourself a good man, you marry a Lions fan. We're as loyal as they come. How many times do the Lions screw us over and ruin our lives? A lot.
Every damn year.
Every damn year. And we come back and still cheer them on because we think they're going to win the Super Bowl at some point. The Cubs won the World Series. Why can't we win the Super Bowl? And
Right.
for college, it's a lot happier. It's Notre Dame.
Oh, nice. Chris Carnage,
Mhm.
he's part of the Podcast City Network, and he does Chris Carnage Show, and his alter ego does Final Score, which is the new sports podcast on Podcast City Network. Chris Carnage is a Notre Dame fan, excuse me. And
Good.
myself for college, I watch more college. Well, I try to when I'm not, being a father with chasing my daughter around and stuff. But when I'm able to sit down and watch, I lived up in Tennessee for about 11 years, so I'm a UT fan.
Volunteers.
Yep.
TOL.
Yep. Like someone
Not
mentioned.
that UT.
Someone mentioned they're like yeah, you got UT got their ass kicked by Bama. I was like, well, you know what? At least we went down fighting. We didn't just sit there and let them.
Everybody get whooped by Bama though.
I know. It's like, what the hell? What the hell is Alabama? What the hell are they feeding their players, man? Are they feeding them what shit they fucking feeding them?
That Saban stuff. That guy.
You're probably gonna. Well, I'm at it's hard for me to say. Like, I'll say Notre Dame. I'm gonna pick them because my uncle really follows them big time. He's actually gone to a lot of the games, and also, but I am a fan of the Denver Broncos, and also
Yeah, there you go.
And I follow the Eagles, but yeah, we won't all boo. Yeah, whatever. But it's all good. It's all good. Football's football.
Yeah.
I could watch any football game unless it's like if you were to put the 08 Lions and the 16 Browns against each other, I probably would not watch that because that would be a disgrace to the sport.
I would. See how bad it could be.
Well, yeah, football is really interesting. I mean, what's going on this year with college and with the
Giants,
NFL and
the
stuff and everything.
Giants, I'm hating them. Sorry, but we all know that.
Yeah, it's been a depressing year again for the Lions. Not surprised, but
Right.
maybe we'll get a good draft pick. But I've said that for many years.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, guys. When did you debut for EHF Entertainment?
We debuted on March 16th of this year. This year, right?
Yeah, it was this past year.
Yeah, it was a Niles show. It was a fundraiser, I believe, for Niles High School for the prom, right? Which is actually a day before my birthday, so it was like, this is kind of cool because I get my first official professional wrestling match, and then by the time I get home, it's going to be my birthday. So
Nice.
it was like an early birthday
Badass.
present, and I ended up picking up the win, so happy birthday.
Yeah, I did not. I lost. Lucky me.
Now, what was your debut matches like in EHF for you, Jason and Eli?
Well, mine it was a little scary because you're like, because when we went out there debut match, it was also the attendance record for EHF, over 400 people, and so going out there, you're like, holy crap, there are so many people.
This is a mature audience, buddy. You can say shit.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm trying to pick and choose my swear words, Mr. Sailor.
Jesus.
This is like the first time I've ever held back swearing. Usually I'm the one to spit out a swear word every other word. But funny story for our debut is we were doing Ames Army
Uh-huh.
at the Niles show. And we had the meeting, and we were told this was a PG show, which is untraditional for EHF.
Right.
The opening match was Ames versus Saddam for the EHF title.
Uh-huh.
And we ended up doing the Ames Army thing, and we all know how Ames's gimmick is, the dancing on people, very sexual. So we go out, we do Ames Army, we're dancing and stuff, we're doing our crazy thing, and this lady comes out, and she starts dancing with us. So we think, fan interaction time. Let's have some fun with the fans. Start dancing with her.
Right.
She takes off her jacket, and I'm like, oh, she's kind of gross.
She's really feeling herself.
She's really excited.
Yeah.
And this is the first match of the show.
Uh-huh.
PG in a high school. And after taking off her jacket, proceeds to take off her shirt. Now she's in her bra.
No.
And now,
Oh my God.
and now we stop everything we're doing. We're just staring. And then unhooks the bra and security.
Oh, no.
Dramatic pause.
Like Jerry Lawler would say, puppies.
Puppies!
Oh yeah, and we saw a nipple and everything, and it was just.
My God.
Oh, man.
She looked like she was melting.
She looked like she was milfing?
Yes, it looked like she was melting. She had like her skin was just.
Oh,
it was
God.
a pleasant sight to see.
But
melting. That's also the first ever. That's also the first ever time we ever had our debuts.
Yeah.
In professional wrestling. So, getting told that this is a PG show because it's held at a high school and it's a fundraiser, and we're trying to make a good impression on the parents. And the first thing they see with their little children is some druggie stripping naked for the whole crowd to see.
And then, funny story, after about midway through the show, security escorted her out, obviously, after she started stripping.
Oh, yeah.
We found her in the U-Haul that we were hauling the ring in, and she was waiting for the Ames Army.
Oh, my God.
Shit.
Oh, my God. You know what? I got a soundboard, and I definitely got to play this right here for you guys. You'll get a kick out of this here. All right. As soon as it loads in. Here we go.
Damn!
Damn!
Were you guys like...
Oh my God, what the fuck is that?
I'll have to send you guys the picture, but there's a picture of me because there's pictures of this happening.
Oh my!
They have
God.
pictures of all of it as it happened, and there's a picture of me, totally shock-faced, like I am in absolute disbelief of what's going on, and I'm like, jaw hit the floor, at like, what's going on?
Could you imagine if that hit like TMZ or like one of those like virtual videos on YouTube? You know?
Oh my God! Oh my God, man! Oh my God! Was she basically like?
Well, it's on every day, all day.
For the Ames Army?
Yeah, it was. She was really. It's not like it was. A good sight either. It looked like you cranked the temperature to 1,000 degrees, and she was melting.
Yeah,
Oh my God!
It was like a what are those called? Those little wax museum. It looked like a wax museum was in a desert.
Looked like something from the House of Wax from Vincent Price. It looked like something like that? Oh
Or
man!
Madame Tussauds.
Yeah, it was disturbing to say the least.
Oh
But
man!
that was our first memory of wrestling, and we're like, well, welcome to the business.
Yep.
That's the real deal. That's the deal.
Oh damn! Now, I wanna ask a little bit more about Northwest Ohio wrestling. Just being there before you got to EHF. How was that? How was doing that right there with Northwest Ohio wrestling, training and having matches?
Mm-hmm.
The guys at Northwest Ohio Wrestling they really put a lot of guidance on you. Everybody looks out for each other, which I love.
Right.
The training there is absolutely no joke. I thought I was in really good shape. I work out every day.
And then Chris Chambers comes in with this absolutely ridiculous workout, and you're like, "Hey, can't walk."
Yeah, I've burned muscles I never knew I even had.
Yeah.
And to say the least, whenever Eli and myself, whenever we go out to the ring and we have our tag team match, the second, our match is over and we walk in the back, there's about 5, 6, 7, 8 vets waiting for us to tell us, what we're doing really well, what we need to work on, and how we can fix certain things. So everybody over there is really influential to us.
And the best thing about it is when they tell you to go and work on that stuff, you go into training to start off the week, and there they are to help you with it. And that's another thing you can really appreciate is they're looking out for you because they know the potential that a person has. And it really, because it's hard to explain, but it feels like a family. And I just love it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Of course, man. I mean, you're there with people. You're basically you're in a group of people that have the same passion as you do. You have a love for the business, and it's good to be around that, and just being around veterans and trainers that basically want to give you the right guidance and put you in the right direction. And what more can you ask for,
Right, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
It was, I just love all the guys over at NOW. You got Chambers, Dre Jacobs, JJ Castillo, Colt Daniels, Alex Jordan,
Alex Weir,
Alan Graves.
Yeah, they all look out for us.
IndyCard Mafia.
Yeah,
I love those guys.
Nice.
Oh man, we're gonna have to. You guys are gonna have to get us those guys on here eventually. Down the line, we'll work some podcasts in with them.
Yeah, for sure.
Eminon and Brewington are just they're awesome.
Yeah, they're good people.
That's awesome. That is.
All right, I'm gonna bring this to the next question, guys. Right now, how did you come to meet Damien Saint?
Yeah, how did that come about? I'm interested in that right there. We've known Damien for quite a while, and David's known him longer than me.
Yeah, actually, I met Damien at a. Actually, I was in Chicago for Freelance Underground, and my local company was there, Game Changer Wrestling. And Damien came out to the show. I was like, "Come on, come out, meet me, hang out." He enjoyed it. It was a really fun night.
Oh yeah, Damien's a freaking hoot. But so when we went for a seminar that Ames was hosting, Damien was sitting ringside, just kind of watching the people that came in, and Ames pointed at Damien, and Damien came in the ring, and he said, "This guy right here," pointing to Damien, is one of the best at giving a promo. And so Damien just kind of cut a shoot promo, and Damien really plugged into our minds. When you cut a promo, you want to say like where it's at, what the date is, what time. And so Damien really helped us, maybe indirectly, because we didn't know him and we didn't really ask, but like it's just stuff we picked up on that he kept doing. So yeah, Damien helped us with our promo work a lot, and when we do our tag team gimmick in NOW, our promos really have a tendency to blow up just because of how goofy we are. We try to make everybody laugh, but at the same time convey a message that we're going to be there.
And make it so entertaining that they want to come out and watch us live. And that's the entire goal, is we want to make it entertaining to where everyone wants to see it, but entertaining enough to get the people out to the shows.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's always good. I mean, yeah, you definitely do, and yeah, Damien is just he's great.
He's a character. He's out there, and actually, I remember the time he was telling me about the time that he got in the ring unexpectedly for a tag match. Like he got involved in the tag match.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yep, that was one of the EHF shows.
Yeah.
I remember, because Adam, he was just like, Damien, where are you going? You're in a tag match. And
yeah,
it was great because the way Damien acted in the ring, it was like, remember whenever Paul Heyman would be in matches?
Yeah.
And like, he'd wait for that opportunity, but like most of the time he's running away. That was Damien. And Damien did it in his own way to where it was really entertaining.
Right.
And I remember when I first found out that in NOW we were going to be paired with Damien, I was listening to him and JJ Castillo having a conversation, and he goes, "Hey, I got a tag team you can manage." Yeah, what's their names? And he goes, "Their name is Big Facts." And at that moment, I walked by and I stopped and I was like, "Damien!" And he goes, "Don't tell me it's with him."
He's like, "Shit, man, no."
Yeah, Damien is always his famous saying. His famous saying, "You're adopted."
Yeah. The first time we ever seen him work as a manager, he walked up to the kid in front of us that was booing him and told him, "Your parents don't care about you, kid. Go play in traffic because you're adopted." And we looked at each other and we were like, "What the hell did this guy just say?"
Yeah. But it's perfect for what he does. It's great. It's good catchphrase. And I mean, the faces and expressions of the grandmas and the parents, the crowd, you're probably like, they're all cracking up. Like,
Yeah.
Damien really helped us a lot with our ability to think outside the box, especially for our promos.
Oh yeah.
Adam Graves helped out a lot too.
Yes.
With some promo ideas, and I just it's always fun when it's time to record our promo. It's never like, "Oh, hey, we got to record our promo for the next upcoming show." It's like, "Dude, you ready for this promo? Let's do this." We're always brainstorming ideas every time we're hanging out. We're driving to the gym.
Right.
Have these ideas for a certain promo. And I remember for the most recent one, because the tag team we're facing is No Coast. So I'm like, how can we figure out a way to twist No Coast into something totally goofy?
Yeah.
And it went from us going to be staring at a wall to me being in the bathtub with like tanning goggles on.
7-Eleven cup.
Yeah. That was great. That was great. That was what I mentioned earlier. Me and David when before we were getting ready tonight, and noticed David was telling me. He said, "Did you see the video they put up there?" And I was like, "What video?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "This is great." So I went over there. I checked out your guys' page, and I was going through, and I was like, "Are you sure I'm not seeing it?" And he says, "No, it's Damien." I said, "Okay." So I punched in Damien there, and I scrolled down. I looked and watched it there, and I watched David watch it with me, and it was fucking great. I was laughing. I was entertained, and you got my attention, and it was great. You got your point across, and what you wanted to do, what you needed to do, and I couldn't ask for more. If I was like, "Yeah, you got my attention now. You definitely got my attention."
Do I have everybody's attention now?
That's like whenever. That's like
You are gonna watch this promo, and you are gonna like it.
Yeah, basically.
If you guys have a chance, go back and watch Everett Lee's show, because he has this one character that his name is the Menace. Go ahead, tell him about that. That's funny.
Yeah. All right, since you put me on the spot here, David. Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, David always has to put me on the spot here, and Now I know why I don't have you on the Everett Lee Show. I got you on ELS Uncut now. I gotta rib you, David. You put me on the spot.
I know,
but I'm used to it. I'm accustomed to it.
Okay.
Yeah, I have the menace. This guy comes in and he wrecks my show. He jumps my guest. He knocks him out with ring bells. He jumped Chris Carnage from behind when we were doing a draft back in the day. We did Draft Tuesday, and I had him over for that, and he calls in. The Menace calls in. He said he's going to whip Chris Carnage's ass. We're like, yeah, right. And in the middle of doing a podcast, this guy comes busting in and blazing glory, freaking knocks his ass out, busts my table, hits him in the head with the ring bell, and then another wrestler here in Florida, the Renegade, comes running in, and they're whipping each other's ass. And right in my studio, I'm like, what the fuck? Tore up my studio.
Then to close out, he gets a surprise call, right? And comes to your house.
Oh yeah, on the 100th episode. Yeah, on the 100th episode, he calls me up and he has a gift for me. Okay, cool. Doorbell rings. I go answer it, and then there he is with the ring bell, and he knocks me out with it. You know, I mean, you can check this out on the Everett Lee Show Facebook page there in the video section. If you don't find it there, head over to Podcast City Network Facebook page and look in the video section.
We could always get it right to you guys.
Or you'll be able to see it right there in those two spots there. But since you guys were talking about tag teams, and one thing wanting to know is, how did Jason Page and Eli Shelton become a tag team? Was it something like how Steve Austin, when he talked about with him and Brian Pillman, the Hollywood Blondes, where it's like, hey, we're going to be a tag team. And it's like, what? We're going to be a tag team? Hold up here. No one told me. You got the last notice. But how'd that come about, you guys becoming a tag team?
Well, of course, with us growing up together, we always had the idea of, oh, we're going to go into wrestling together. We're going to do this. We're going to be great. And then originally we came in as singles, and then we get paired up into Ames Army.
Yes.
And then Ames Army splits, and we're like, we need to figure something out. We need to figure out something new, something fresh. And so we were told when we were going to NOW that they were going to be doing Jason Page and Mark Williams into a tag team together, because at other places like EHF and other, say, like there was like PWK and some other places, we would be rivals.
Right.
And so then it became something totally new, and now we're like, oh, now we're going to be a tag team. And we spent all this time trying to figure out a name forever, because we could never figure it out. We're like, oh, what's a name? And I was like, I don't want it to be something basic like, oh, say the bad guys, or something like that, you know?
Right.
And we were thinking forever, and you know, we thought Vicious and Delicious, but that was a branch of the NWO, so we're like, nope.
You don't want to cease and desist.
Yeah, I brought it up to our boss, and he goes, oh, you guys should have like a rhyme. Like, you guys work out all the time, and I mean, you guys look good. So what about like Twisted Steel and Sex Appeal? So I was like, you know, we could take that and run with it, but if we go to a PG show, I don't know if they're going to approve of that.
Yeah.
Right.
So our friend group, anytime we say something like, if it's a nice sunny summer day and one of us are like, wow, that sun's really bright, you know, that's a big fact. So I looked at Eli as we were going to the gym, and I was like, you know what? I was like, let's just stick to what we know and what we say literally every day. Let's just call ourselves Big Facts, and we can even throw a hashtag and be fancy. So that's how that all became. Normally we work as rivals pretty much anywhere else, like EHF, where I go by the Future moniker. He goes by the Army of One, and we have our little rivalry there. And then at NOW, Robert Lopez, he said you guys are like ironically similar with your sense of humor, and that's just growing up with each other and learning each other's sense of humor. And we were like, yeah, we've grown up with each other. And he's like, how would you guys like to try becoming a tag team for NOW? And so we gave it a shot, and now we have a number one contendership. So I mean, we're making strides, and we got the fans behind us, so that's all we could really ask for.
And at first, when we first presented Big Facts, and that was our name, everyone looked at us and was like, "That's the dumbest name I've ever heard." And then after like 3 shows, everyone backstage, anytime something is said, I will hear in the distance Big Facts, and I'm like, "Excuse me? Did you just say that name was dumb? Now you're speaking it?" But it makes me smile because we have something that people can remember.
Yeah.
It's something so simple that when you hear our music hit, you're like, it's Big Facts. It's not like, oh, what's that tag team name? You remember it right away. And that's also key. It's not something so simple that it's basic, but it's also not too complicated. It's right at that perfect spot where everyone can remember it. And know it can be original because, I mean, I haven't heard of any other team named Big Facts.
Yeah, no. It's simple, but it's original by us. So we just decided to keep it and run with it.
Of course. It's like if you look at the tag team with the New Day when they put Xavier Woods, Big E, and Xavier Kofi Kingston together. They had 3 guys they weren't really doing much with there, and they stuck them all together, and they came up with the name New Day. When I first heard New Day, I was like, New Day? What the hell is this? Crap? Yeah, what the fuck is this, man? And then as time went on, because no one liked New Day when they first debuted. No one did.
No, I remember everyone hated them.
Yeah, everyone hated him, but as time went on, they grew. They actually grew on you, and you became a fan, and you enjoyed them because it's one of those things that takes time. And when you're telling me that with your name, of course, it's now it's starting to catch on, and people starting to like it, and they know it, and your name sticks out, and that's
it's sticking out tonight. It's sticking out right now tonight. Big Fact is trending worldwide. How's that?
Yeah. Wow. Big Facts USA.
Yeah.
And I think, and I'm not a vet by any stretch at all. I'm only a year in, so I'm still pretty green.
Yeah.
But for advice to people starting off, I do think New Day is one of the best examples of, if you're going to get into tag team wrestling, look at them and don't try to rush your character. Let it develop, because New Day, the original idea for the gimmick was a bunch of preachers. Yeah. Now what is it? They're throwing pancakes at people.
Yeah.
They're just now they're goofballs having fun, and they've been one of the most over tag teams for the past 3 years.
They have. And they've been the longest reigning tag team too. If you look at that, they beat Demolition's record. And before David asks the next question, I want to say what WWE, WWF tag team has been your favorites?
Ooh.
Yeah, growing up and current.
If there was the closest thing, like, we tried to say, like, build the base of our tag team off of, because nowadays it's pretty hard to come up with something 100% original, because I think almost everything's been done in this business. You can always find new things to do, but I'd say we look back and we really look at Edge and Christian as a good influence. I mean, look what they did. They had the goofiness. Yes. And they had their serious moments. Started off with the Brood, then they split off. They did their thing, the 5-second pose, all the other stuff, the kazoos.
Yeah, it really it comes down to Edge and Christian. They just kind of leaked charisma.
Yes.
And that's one thing. If you can come out when your music hits, you can come out, and if you're being a face, you can run around and act like, a really joyous guy. But surprisingly, one thing that I learned is your promos go a long way into telling the story of a match.
Right.
And it's funny that you brought up New Day, because we were watching SmackDown one time, and I was like, man, like, these guys come out, the LED boards pop up with the rainbow. They come out with pancakes, and they throw pancakes at fans.
Yes.
Like, these guys are getting paid to pretty much be themselves and act like goofballs.
Right.
And simultaneously, we just kind of looked at each other and we were like, man, like, we're goofballs. So at the same time, we're like, we don't have to be this serious, we're going to beat everybody tag team.
Mhm.
We're going to be this, we're going to be serious when we go down there, but we're going to have just a little bit of goofiness on the side. And that's where Eli really comes into play. He's more the Christian to my Edge.
Yes. That's always good to have, man. That is definitely always good to have.
All right, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you like to wrestle with, and you haven't yet?
This one's pretty easy. It definitely IndyCar Mafia. We see those two as a great tag team, fantastic wrestlers. 2018 PWI 500. They're
Eric Emanon and Thomas Brewington together. They're IndyCar Mafia, and they really bring something to the table that is not like they're not going to do anything that makes you. They don't do all the flippy, high spots. But the one thing that they're really, really good at is telling a story, and
Right.
that's really what it's about nowadays. And if you have a strong story, you're going to sell.
Yes. Yeah.
And another thing is they've really helped us develop as a tag team along the way, giving us advice, being there for us, almost taking us under their wing and being like, hey, do this and do that. And Emanon is also a good plug for Emanon.
Yeah.
IndyCard Media, I would say he is one of the best designers there is today. His ring attire designs, his T-shirt designs, they are absolutely amazing. And if you are an indie wrestler looking for a design, go to Eric Emanon and tell him that Big Fact sent you.
Nice. Now,
Yeah, if we could fantasize a little, I would. They're in TNA now, but if we could get a match with the Rascals at some point in our life, that would be awesome. We met Trey Miguel. He was at NOW, the Northwest Ohio Wrestling Training Facility, while we were there, and he actually showed us quite a bit. So having a match against the Rascals would be really cool too.
yeah.
I would gladly take that standing moonsault move.
Yeah.
Could you I think another thing that would really help with a Rascals versus Big Facts is the promos. You got Rascals Circle, and then anything we would do, because we would figure something ridiculous out to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It'd be a lot of fun.
All right.
And
Let me put you on the spot right now. If I could
All
picture me and Everett right now, being a tag team. Okay, cut a promo for us. How would we go about our promo?
okay.
Like right on the spot.
So
Here he goes again. Put me on the spot.
going about
Put me on the spot.
Promo,
Let me all right, let me give you something to go with here. Okay, it's not that easy, David. All right. Okay,
No.
me and David, we'll call ourselves D and E. And we come from the back street. We come from the Daytona
up
Beach
Texas.
shores. We become
Yeah.
over on the beach there. We're like surfer guys. We're like, yeah, man. We like, take our surfboards. We're gonna knock you out, man. So that's what we are. We're like surfer dudes, you know, like the dudes back in the day with Mr. Johnny Laurinaitis. So let's say that's our persona there. You know, have a little bit of fun with this, David. All right, that's who we are. Okay, so we're coming after big facts, David. So we're gonna take them out. So
we're taking them on, man.
Yeah, we're gonna take them on, man. We're gonna get you with your surfboards.
Tonight at EHF, the main event. We're taking the titles.
Yeah. Okay. All right. There's that. We gave you that there. Now, just take all that we just threw at you right there. We just dumped on you there, and spin it on us now.
All right. So the way we'd go about this is we got to think of an idea of how would we build it to where it's a perfect mention for you guys, and we can spin it into our goofiness. So, say, since, there's Lake Erie nearby, what we would do is I would basically drag Jason Page out to Luna Pier with me. And Luna Pier is not like the most fanciest beach because it is Lake Erie, and if you've ever heard about Lake Erie, it's not the cleanest lake.
White green.
Yes.
White green. It's so basically I would be like, Jason, I figured out a way we can beat Danny. We have to think like them. We're gonna go out. We're gonna go get nice and sexy and tan. We're going to go surf at Luna Pier. We're going to become them. And that's how we'll win. Think in their minds.
But I feel like, Mark, we got to, if we got to be them, we got to talk like them. So I think we should go and get our surfboards, and we need to become long, tan, and handsome.
Yeah, dude. Oh, surf's up, bro. Surf's up. So let me tell you something here, Danny. When we go to the Jump Boost Gaming Warehouse this weekend, by the time the 7 o'clock bell hits, whoo, Big Facts is going to go all over you, baby girl. We're going to be surfing up and down that ring, baby, because that is just big facts.
Oh, nice. Let me give you a round of applause for that there, man.
Thank you.
That's nice.
Thank you, guys.
At least it wasn't.
Fickle.
Yeah, it was just a little shootage from the hip,
Yes.
but we're glad you guys like it.
No, that was great. That was freaking
fun.
great. That's
And
right
it
there.
wasn't total The Rock Billy Gunn burial like,
Oh, yeah.
but my name's Billy. It doesn't matter what your name is.
Yes.
Yeah, we thought
That's...
you guys long, tan, and handsome.
Yeah. I love that. I thought that was great, man. I definitely did enjoy that.
What?
What? Stone Cold. I have to say, a lot of people... What? Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's going to drive in with his pickup truck, open up a can of whip ass, and gonna raise some hell. Gonna stump a mud hole in your ass and walk it dry. Give me a hell yeah.
You guys want?
Hell yeah!
Let me tell you something here right now. Stone Cold gonna grab down the liquor store, grab himself 1 beer. What? 2 beers.
What?
3 beers.
What?
A shot of whiskey. A Bloody Mary. A margarita. And more beer.
Well, guys, let me tell you something. And the Macho Man Randy Savage is in the house, and I'm coming for you guys.
He's a fire with
The
a
title
Elizabeth
tonight.
Banks.
Dig it. And if you like pain, I'm coming
best.
home, Bobby. Have a nice day.
I love his Mick Foley, man. He does great. A Mick Foley and a Macho Man. He definitely does.
That was solid.
That was.
Who would you think who would be your favorite on cutting promos there? Who's your favorite all time promo cutter that you enjoyed watching? Like, we'll say, since we're doing in WWE,
Yeah.
who would be your favorite person that cut promos?
I'm basic. I'm going with CM Punk.
CM Punk, yes.
All right, CM Punk. Cool.
I don't want to pick CM Punk just because he already did, but CM Punk's definitely way up there. But
Yeah.
I would say John Cena, but at the same time, like, he's one of the best at shooting from the hip.
Oh yeah, definitely. I love him or hate the guy. I have to definitely agree with you right there, because especially one thing I did like was when he first started out, when he was doing the Thugonomics. I thought that was just fucking great, because at I forget which WrestleMania it was, when he came out there with the fabulous cutout and he basically dissed him. I thought that was great, and I enjoyed the rap battles that he used to do when he was doing the Thugonomics gimmick, before he turned
With Kurt Angle.
Yeah, Kurt Angle, and then oh damn, I'm always wanting to call him Spanky, but it's damn, he's on 205 Live. I cannot believe I'm
Brian Kendrick.
Yes, Kendrick. Yes, the Brian Kendrick.
Yeah.
The Brian.
The Brian Kendrick.
Also one with Big Show.
Yeah. Big
Yeah.
Show.
The Thugonomics gimmick was another thing that was really outside the box. So that's what really, I think, made him stand out.
Yes.
And then he just kind of developed his mic promo skills as he developed.
And then became Super Cena.
Yes, Super Cena. No one could beat him.
And of course, mine would be Mick Foley.
Yeah, Mick Foley.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Mick Foley.
Stone Cold's another one, too.
Yeah,
And
Stone.
of course,
Stone.
you can always pick The Rock, but like everyone knew how good The Rock was.
Oh yeah,
at cutting a promo.
yeah.
He just had quick wit.
Oh yeah, definitely. One of my favorite Rock promos is, I don't know if you can find it. I thought about it the other day and I was laughing about it, and my wife was like, "What are you laughing about?" And because I was looking at some footage of wrestling, and I came upon something with like old stuff from Attitude Era. And it was right at the beginning when they kind of started almost gravitating the Rock and Mick Foley together for the Rock and Sock. And I think it was during one of those shoots, it was one of those episodes of Raw where Undertaker and Kane, they were pissed off at Vince McMahon because over the championship thing, and they came out and they were just like interrupting matches constantly through the night. And Rock and Mick Foley was back there backstage cutting a promo on him and stuff, and it was, I'll never forget what The Rock said. The Rock was like, "Undertaker, The Rock says he's coming after you because one thing is, Undertaker, you live by the dirt and you die by the shovel, and I'm gonna knock your eyes in the back of your head because The Rock," and I just lost it. You live by the dirt and you die by the shovel.
Another one I would say is one of my favorites is Chris Jericho.
Oh,
Yes.
dude, Jericho.
I saw one of my favorite starts to a Jericho promo. He grabs the mic, and he's
I know where you're going.
he's working as a heel, obviously, and he looks around and he goes, "Man, look at all the people here tonight." Everybody's soaking it in, and he looks around and he goes, "And every single one of you is a jackass." Man, that's gold.
That is. I'd have to say Jericho, with what he's doing, he keeps himself relevant, and I love that because back in the day when I'd watch WCW, I was watching the Monday Night Wars, man. I loved the Monday Night Wars, seeing what was going on with WCW and WWE at the time. And when Jericho was in WCW, I liked it when he'd come out and have his personal security, Ralphus. That was hilarious, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he'd come out.
Jericho's great.
Oh yeah, Jericho's great, and then how he would he came out with the first list. He was rivaling with Dean Malenko in that list right there.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He's the
man
man
of 1,006 holds.
Move number 1, arm bar. Number 2, arm drag. Number 3, arm bar. Every other one was freaking like armbar. It was just great.
Yeah.
And then when he feuded with Goldberg, he called him Greenberg, Mr. Bill Greenberg.
Yeah. He's just stuff that he says and how he says it. Like, I think it was CM Punk. He was talking to him. Were they Money in the Bank? I think. Right? Mm-hmm. He was like, CM Punk, you look at me when I'm talking to you, boy. Wasn't it Punk?
I think it was, yeah. Yeah. He was he was looking at CM Punk, and he basically said, yeah, you when I'm looking at you when I'm talking to you, you look at me. But yeah, I think it was because he got some damn good promos, and with him staying relevant and him jumping back in and forth with WWE. But I'd have to say this year, my favorite persona of Jericho would have to be with him in at this year's Wrestle Kingdom, man, because that was just that build with Kenny Omega was just so fucking great because the way he did it reminded me of old like Southern wrestling promotion stuff that you would see. He showed up, he jumped his opponent, he knocked him in the head, with the belt. He made the guy bleed, something I haven't seen in a long time, and that's what I thought. It made me remember of like Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair getting hit over the head, and there they are, they get up and they're gushing blood, and their opponent's beating them down, just getting all bloody.
You don't really see that anymore. Like whenever a wrestler bleeds now in WWE, it's like a big deal.
Yeah,
and you could say that's a good thing because like when Becky Lynch went out and just tore down the entire Raw women's locker room.
Yes,
it was amazing.
Yeah,
of course, Nia Jax cold cocks her just.
Yeah,
and she still goes and finishes what she had to do.
Yeah,
and she was just. Oh, she was awesome. Did you guys see her tweet today?
No, I didn't see it because I was laughing at the tweets, man, that she's been putting out there. They've been really, really, really fucking great, with Becky Lynch's tweets. What'd she put out there today?
Oh, it was because like Charlotte criticized her for missing that SmackDown and having to take time off for the injury. And she tweets out, I missed one SmackDown for a broken face. Charlotte missed an entire month of SmackDown for something. I can't quite remember what it was. And it showed the picture of when she had the first implant. Oh, like you could notice it in her attire.
Yeah.
It was like cutthroat, and it's like, wow, all right, we're going that far.
Yeah. It's it is. I mean, like what Becky's doing on social media and stuff. My favorite one so far was when Ronda announced her pop or whatever it is called, the figure, and then Becky replied back, "It's like, nah, I already own you." Because Ronda's like, yeah, look what I own now, and Becky got on her is like, no, I already own your ass. Just great, just great.
The man.
She is. And one thing I want to mention about Becky is I remember here in Daytona back when she started out with NXT. When NXT would come here to Daytona, we'd have like live events, and I'd go to them, and I seen Becky in the ring before she hit TV there for NXT TV, and I've seen her grow, and starting out with the live events here, and then to where she's at now. And it's one amazing ride. I felt like I've been along with her for the ride because I met her a couple times in person. She's awesome. And I told her I was at the second time I met her, it was at a meet and greet there for NXT. And I told her, I was like, I enjoy what you do. And I love it. And she was really like taken in by it. And she's like, thank you. She's like, really? And it's like when I saw Neville,
I've had a lot of that experience too.
Yeah.
With seeing Amber Moon actually before she actually took off to the NXT in her career at WSU for CZW, the Ladies Wrestling Federation, and local wrestling, of course, too. So she got a good launch there, and Maya Kim too, as well, which was really cool. And a lot of other guys in business too. It's progressed, and look where they are now.
Yeah,
I have a couple of friends that are referees, and they were wrestlers actually. Drake Younger and Bandito Jr. He goes by Eddie Orange as the referee.
I have not personally met anyone from any big star from WWE, but only a matter of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Becky Lynch is another one. This whole attitude she's got going on. She's another one that can cut a pretty mean promo.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm happy that they're not letting, they're not like holding back on her, and they're just letting her be this and just do this because she's over. She is. She's over with the crowd, and why not just embrace it? Like, for example, Elias. I loved Elias, man. I loved him. And just with him, like, just telling people to silence their cell phones and shut the hell up, and just great. And that night when, you probably seen it, that night when he got ran off the stage by Baron Corbin and people were booing him, and when he left and when he came back out, I was like, finally, because I mean, nowadays it's a little bit too predictable. But as soon as Elias came out and he had the guitar, it's like, he ain't gonna sing him a song. He's gonna pull a Jeff Jarrett. He's gonna knock Slapnuts upside the head, man. And that's what he did.
Slapnuts.
Yep. Listen up now, Slapnuts. I love Jarrett with the guitar in WCW.
WCW era.
Yeah, I love that, man. That was my favorite. My father, God rest his soul. He was a big.
It's bad if you can go out and sit in the ring and get the entire crowd to chant, "We are scumbags." at that point, you pretty much got to go face and get the crowd behind you more than they already are.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely do. You definitely do.
Although he was able to get some pretty good heat in Seattle.
Yeah.
Oh God!
Yeah, Supersonics joke.
Yes. That was great. I love that, man. I was like, wow. I was like, okay. I think he hit the highlight. I think to me that was like the top of it. Now it's like, okay, all right, right there. You've already proven it. Okay, now you need to go the opposite direction now because you've done it. It's like, flip the guy. Flip him because he's over. He's already got major heat. It's kind of like CM Punk said when he was doing the Straight Edge Society thing and shaving people's heads, and it was on the documentary there where he said he was out somewhere in a southern town wrestling, and then a grandma slapped him and basically said, "You're not Jesus," and he was like, "I made it."
He's like, "Yeah."
Maybe.
Yeah,
finally did it.
Yeah, he finally did it, and then there was only one other, direction to go, and that was, it was like turn. But talking about events for you guys coming up, what do you have coming up? What upcoming events will we be able to check out Big Facts at?
Right now it's we have two. I know we got two big NOW events. We've got tomorrow at the Jump Boost Gaming Warehouse in Toledo, Ohio, taking on No Coast. The winners, the number one contenders for the NOW Tag Team titles, which that would be against Wet Dream, against Aaron Daniel Norman, and Big Fish from Bowski. We faced them once. We came close, but fell short. Hoping we can win this match tomorrow and get some redemption and get that gold. Also, we got it's December 14th. We're hosting a Toys for Tots event for NOW, and Jason will be a part of a 5-on-5 elimination tag team match.
Oh yes,
and that should be exciting.
Yes.
Yeah, we got on our team. I would be known as more the high flying guy, and then across from me is Jonte Keith,
who just likes to kill himself.
Yeah, and he is the owner of the newly found Homicide Dive, because when he dives, it's a close call. He does some things that you sit there and think, why would he do that to himself? So with him on one side and me on the other, I think we'll have quite a bit of fun, to say the least, in that Survivor Series style match. But I believe January 19th would be the next big show at Northwest Ohio Wrestling. Again, at the Jump Boost Gaming Warehouse. And if we beat No Coast tomorrow, I believe that would be
the tag title match. So we just got to win tomorrow, and then it's on to Wet Dream.
Nice.
Yeah, we're not overlooking No Coast though, because they do have plenty of experience. They got some talented guys. It's gonna be an awesome match, but in the end, Big Fish is gonna come out on top.
I'd love to see that. I'd love to see you guys live. Now, what is there to come in 2019? Because 2018 is almost over. We have a few more weeks until 2018 is over. What should we look for with Big Facts in 2019?
Well, the plan is to go nationwide, and we've got a couple things set up for us to go, and Brutal Bob Evans helped set us up some bookings across the country, in Portland, Rhode Island, Tennessee,
Nevada.
Too bad. Did you hear about that one, though?
Yeah.
They moved the date. Yeah, he helped us get set up in Vegas, but they ended up moving the date to a day we were already booked, so that one ended up having to be scrapped. Georgia one. There's
Tennessee.
Yeah, I said Tennessee.
Oh.
But yeah, we got all the a big shout out to our pal Uncle Bob for those. He's an if you're an indie wrestler and you are looking to do a seminar, I highly recommend his. There's a lot you can learn from him, and he is a great mind in the business, and he's very well respected. It is a great idea to get on his good side, because it can help you get more bookings and further develop yourself as a wrestler here in the business.
Yeah, when we took Uncle Bob's seminar, when you hear the words "tell a story," you kind of think like almost Gargano Ciampa, like, okay, you get people to come out and see what's happening, and then bam, something happens to where, wow, they got to come back the next show. Brutal Bob actually showed us that if I'm wrestling, say I don't even know Eli, he's from a different state and I'm from this state, and we're at the same company and we get thrown into a match together, you can actually tell a story, but obviously it won't be deep like a betrayal.
Right.
Like if I'm holding on to his head and I keep trying to work his head, you can tell a story by just trying to get control of a headlock. Right. And that just comes with, smart transitioning and ring IQ and being able to walk as you go and talk as you go.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah, he really showed us you can tell a story by just trying to keep control in the match. So he really opens your eyes to different perspectives of the business.
That is awesome. That's great, man.
And
I
he's
definitely
still in
like
the
that.
ring to this day, still wrestling.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that is something
He's
right
done
there.
work with Ring of Honor, a bunch of other
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. That is.
Because I actually see a lot of the posts every time he's on social media with the the seminars, and that's good to post on Facebook a lot and to get you guys wrestlers to see what it's all about. I've never, what, that's something I'm going to do. I'm going to go to one of these seminars for fun. I want to check it out myself.
Yeah,
It's worth it, 100%.
Yeah,
I would travel all over to do those seminars because you could learn just so much more every time he does it. And we were blessed enough to have that with him. And then he ended up liking our work because he ended up watching our match, and he had really said he enjoyed what he saw, and he thinks that there's a lot more we can do. And it's just he's a humble man, and he's just an amazing. He's one of the best guys to pick the brains. So.
Yeah, he just treats everybody like family, and that's the way it should be. Unfortunately, not everybody's like that, but when it comes to Brutal Bob, Uncle Bob, he really treats you like he's known you all his life. So it's special.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, guys.
Definitely.
All right, guys. You know what? Let's. Where can everybody find you on social media? Where can they find Big Facts on social media?
On Twitter, my @name is jpage_17. Facebook, you can type in Jason Page. It'd come up as my wrestling page, but personally, I don't mind if people know me personally. Just Eric Hotchkiss. As for Eli, you can go play.
For my Twitter, it is at Mark Williams Pro, and for Facebook, I have my Mark Williams page, and then there's my Eli Shelton page. You can add me on. I am more than welcome to have fun conversations, and we're working on Big Facts merchandise coming here really soon.
Oh yeah, and they'll be all over Facebook, and that's a big fact.
That is a big fact.
Nice.
Sweet.
It is.
Guys, I want to say thank you so much for being on tonight. And you know what?
Thanks for having us, man.
Hey,
You're
our
welcome.
studio doors are always open. If you guys want to come back, you're more than welcome. Come on back. We'd love to have you back.
Yeah, definitely. I want to thank you guys for both you, Jason Page and Eli Sheldon, for taking time out and coming on here and chatting with myself and David Russell of Deathmatch Russell Podcast. And all I got to say is tomorrow, December 8th, I have to say good luck. Have fun.
Yeah, good luck, guys.
Yes.
Kick ass.
Thank you, man.
Hey, yeah, we appreciate everything.
Yep, definitely.
Any
you guys,
final words, guys, for us?
yeah,
Final
any last words you want to say to your opponents tomorrow, or anything?
Just anything. Back.
Any big facts you want to throw out there?
Release a couple of big facts off of this podcast here tonight. No Coast. I'm not sure what you would have that would be better at the moment than to listen to what Mark and Eli and I have to say. We look forward to sharing the ring with you tomorrow, but just know at the end of the day, when that ref counts to 3, our hands will be raised high. We will go on to fight Wet Dream, and we will take those NOW tag team titles. That's a big fact.
That is a big fact.
As for you two nice gentlemen, we really appreciate you guys having us on and taking the time to talk to us, get to know us.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, you guys can thank us, but the pleasure's all ours. Without you guys, this isn't possible. So thank you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it was awesome to come on here. I'm super thankful for it. I'll definitely be looking forward to coming back on sometime.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, definitely. We'll have to get both of you on, and we'll have to get Damien on too. All three of you.
Oh yeah, all three of us.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That'll be quite the experience.
Yes, that definitely will be. All right, y'all have a good night, and we'll keep in touch, and we'll talk again.
Yeah.
All right. You.
See you later, man.
All right, see you later. All right, bye-bye.
Be good, guys.
All right, David.
Wow, Everett Lee, my God, that was really like a batter up out of the park tonight. We just had a really great podcast tonight with two of the up and coming tag team of the of EHF and the Northern what the heck is the name of that?
Northwest
promotion?
Ohio Wrestling.
Yes, big shout out to them both. And you know what? What's going on with you? What are you gonna take a brief break? Are you going to intermission?
Well, actually,
finish up our-
we're gonna wrap this thing up right now, and before we do wrap this up right here on the Everett Lee Show, I do want to end with giving out a shout out to our supporters and sponsors of Podcast City Network. You can head over to podcastcity.net and you can check out over on the sponsor tab these great sponsors and supporters of Podcast City Network. City Limits Taproom in DeLand, Florida, home of Draft Day and the official host of Podcast City Network 1 year anniversary. Be sure to head over to City Limits Taproom in DeLand, Florida for a wide selection of indoor and outdoor TV, beer on tap. Food menu with grilled cheese is excellent. Outdoor stage for events and much, much more over on City Limits Taproom in DeLand, Florida. Atlantic Sound Records in Daytona Beach. If you're looking for that vinyl CD or cassette that may have gotten away, they may have it. So head over to Atlantic Sound Records over on Facebook and check out the latest post and much, much more from Atlantic Sound Records. And here's a little word from Atlantic Sound Records.
Atlantic Sounds, Daytona's hottest music source. Over 40,000 new and used records, classic albums, and the latest music grooves on vinyl. Browse favorites and essentials to build an epic collection. And Atlantic Sounds is your CD mecca with over 20,000 new and used. If we don't have it and they make it, we'll special order. We love music. We get music. Discover the music nirvana voted best around. Atlantic Sounds.
That's right. So head over to their Facebook page, and if you're in Daytona Beach, head over to Atlantic Sounds off of International Boulevard in Daytona. And, of course, if you're looking to book that destination to get away from it all, hit up Telltale Travel on the Podcast City Network sponsor section. Brittany Emler will hook you up on that travel, cruise, or anything that you're looking for. So be sure to hit up Telltale Travel. And, of course, SportSanityCustoms.com. Head over there to get hooked up with a Podcast City Network t-shirt by Sports Sanity Customs. And let them know that Podcast City Network sent you. And, of course, Kentucky Zone Wrestling. Hit them up over on Facebook, Kentucky Zone Wrestling, and check out the latest promos cut by the amazing talent of Kentucky Zone Wrestling, and post by Mr. Hurricane JJ McGuire, and much, much more on Kentucky Zone Wrestling on Facebook. And this is all brought to you by Podcast City Network. PodcastCity.net, the official home of podcast featured on the network. You can hit up more Podcast City Network on Facebook, Podcast City Network, and on Twitter at Podcast City Net. And before we end, we need to mention that coming in 2019, the Podcast City Network 1-year anniversary on January 26th from 2 p.m. to 12 a.m. $8 coverage at City Limits Tap Room in DeLand, Florida. Live music with the Craig Thomas Project, food drink specials, prize giveaways, huge announcements, live podcasts such as the Everett Lee Show, Deathmatch Wrestle Podcast, Super Radio Brothers, Second Rounds Florida Edition, Final Score, and much, much more on the 1-year anniversary of Podcast City Network. So be sure to hit up the event page on Podcast City Network Facebook for more details as they come available. And I think, David, that is it. So
yeah, should I plug away? I feel like I haven't plugged away my couple things. I got two little things I want to.
Yeah, real quick, I want to ask you before we close, what can we expect from Deathmatch Wrestle Podcast this week?
This week? Well, man, stay tuned on Sunday night because at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to have my guest is female pro wrestler Everett Taylor, and she's on the ACW, actually in Florida, Daytona, American Combat Wrestling, I believe. And also, stay tuned Monday morning. Monday, man, this is like the ballpark. It's like I'm saying ballpark tonight, but I'm going to be at the, we're going to bring it back to the old school arena, man. And I'm going to be having my special guest that night is Dr. D. David Schultz.
Oh, wow.
Professional wrestler, hunter, bounty hunter, and much, much more. And I podcast during the week, so stay tuned. Actually, on Wednesday night, stay tuned because I'm going to have professional wrestler Freddie Hudson on the line, and we'll be talking with him and see what he's up to, and much, much more.
And where can people find more of that and much more Deathmatch Wrestle Podcast at?
You can find more Deathmatch Wrestle podcasts on the following social media: deathmatchwrestle.com, follow on Twitter at DavidNJ32, and on Facebook, facebook.com/DJDaveNJ32. Find me on Podcast City Network at podcastcity.net, facebook.com/Podcast City Network. Hit the like button and share. And on Twitter at Podcast City Net. You can hear Deathmatch Wrestle podcast on Stitcher Radio and on iTunes.
Nice. Thank you so much, David. And I believe, what are you doing?
I just have one more announcement to make.
Yes.
As, I'm just going to give fans just remember to support Collar and Elbow. Save 10% off your purchases when you use the promo code Deathmatch Wrestle Podcast. Click on the link collarandelbowbrand.com.
Nice. Thank you so much.
That's a wrap. I'm tired.
Me too, man. That's me too. So we are out of here. I want to thank our guest again, Jason Page and Eli Shelton of Big Facts EHF Wrestling Tag Team. Everett Lee signing off. Be sure to check out more Everett Lee in the coming weeks. And we'll see you again next time for another Everett Lee show. Peace.